Tell them.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Not your foot. Good morning, y'all. Today is a very quick little recipe video. So one thing about myself is I love cooking breakfast. It's like my favorite thing to do. I love the mornings. I'm very much a morning person. So I usually tackle the breakfast while Jen's getting the kids ready and all that good stuff. So today is brought to you a lot by, almost 100% by our farm. So it's gonna be kale and eggs is what we're gonna be making today. The kale is from our farm. Bam. The green onions are from our farm. I just harvested those this morning. The eggs are from the chickens. And even the chicken broth is chicken feet broth from our chickens that we harvested last year. So kale and eggs are a staple that a lot of people have. Well, this is kind of a little twist. It's got a little stuff in it. Not all of them have broth in it. Not all of them have green onions in it. And so it's got a little bit of spicy because, again, if you're new to the channel and you don't have, I think the actual right way to say it's Tajin. We call it Tajin around here. You need some in the cabinet because we're gonna be putting these on our eggs. So let's do this. First thing you wanna do is get you a nice size saute pan. You wanna get 2 tablespoons of butter. That is not from our farm, but it could be. We got goat's milk. We just need to make some milk or make some butter. Get that in there, let it start melting down. You could, at this point, you could add also some garlic in here to make it a little bit more fragrant. We're gonna have some garlic bread with ours, so I think we're gonna hold on the garlic in here. But just let that melt down for just a second. You're gonna throw your green onions in there. All right, you're just doing this for about a minute. You just want everything to get fragrant, let that butter melt down. And then we're gonna add our kale. So I have a big bunch. You could do, I would say if you're like buying it, probably like 2 bunches of kale. But just do it however much you want. It doesn't matter if you have too much, too little. Get everybody in the pot. And so we're using red Russian kale and lacinato kale in here. That's the 2 kales that we have out there growing. And you just want to kind of stir it around just a little bit. And we're just going to let that wilt down. All right, once that is wilted down pretty good, you want to add your cup of chicken broth. A little pepper. To taste. Big pepper fan, put a lot. Not a big pepper fan, don't put in. And then a little pinch of salt. Give it a quick little stir. And then now you're just gonna let this simmer about 6 minutes. Make sure that kale gets nice and soft. All right, once you simmer down and that broth has reduced in, you want to take your little spoon and make your little spots for your eggs, because the kale is going to work as your little binder. Get you your 3 eggs, crack them right in those little holes. All right, then you're just gonna add your little Tajin. Ooh, Lord, got a little crazy with it. Right on top of those eggs, kind of give you a little kick. And then you're just going to cover this. And you're gonna let those eggs get to whatever that you want them to be. We're gonna go just when they start getting a little white over the yolk. That's about the style that we like. I don't know the specific term. I always hate ordering eggs at a restaurant because I never know what it's called. But just when it starts getting a little white over the top, so it's still a little bit runny. And then we'll put this in the plate and we will eat some breakfast. Almost forgot to add, once you add your eggs, you move down to medium-low heat. That way you're not burning anything in there. All right, they're done. Time to plate. All right, y'all, with the beautiful sunshine, if that doesn't get your morning started, I don't know what does. Hope you all enjoy. All right, so we are in the heart of goat milking season. We're getting basically 2 gallons a day. Our babies are pretty much weaned off, and we've gotten rid of some of the little bucklings. So the mamas are just constantly in milk. We don't have to put the babies up at night. Lucy, our bottle baby, is also pretty much weaned. She gets about this much in the mornings, just to kind of give her that taste. But everybody has gone to the feed, which is great news. So that means we have an abundance of milk. We do get rid of it to some people.
Yes, we do have some.
Not for animal or human consumption, only for animal consumption.
Yes. But we do have customers, which is awesome.
It is awesome because we just love when people appreciate goat's milk as much as we do. Everybody has the mindset that it's going to taste like a goat. They're not going to do it until they try it. And they're like, wow, this is absolutely fantastic.
Speaking of goat's milk.
Yeah. How's that goat's milk, Bo?
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. That's the only thing he'll drink. He won't drink milk any other way. But we still have a lot of milk. So we make goat's milk soap, and that is what we're doing. So she's measuring out how much we do in each mold, and then this goes to the deep freeze. So we'll have plenty of milk throughout the year for you all to have goat's milk soap. Squatch is gonna get you.
What?
Look in the camera.
Oh.
Real quick about those squatches, just in case you were curious. Her stepdad, my father-in-law, Graybeard, built those for us. We love them. They're really cool. And so they're going to stay. We've had a lot of comments about them, but if he's curious, that's what they are.
Probably not their permanent home, but eventually we will fix them.
Yeah, we might put them out to freak people
Scare
out.
people.
Yeah. So we wanted to talk about meat on a homestead. So y'all know we were pretty set when it comes to dairy products and stuff like that, and veggies. We do really well at growing about a year's worth of food from that.
And preserving it.
Right, but meat.
It's important. It's a very important part of a homestead or a farm. And it's the hardest part to me. Gardening, we feel, is easy at this point. We've gotten used to it. We know a lot. We've got good experience there. So we can grow enough veggies to keep us sustainable for a year. It might not be exactly what we want to eat when that year's coming to an end. However, it is food, so we can do that. Meat is a little bit trickier. You have to really plan for it. When we left our last house, if you didn't know, we moved. We moved 2 hours away. We downsized a few animals. We brought with us what we could, but in that transition time, we had to be real picky and choosy about what we were growing out and what we were going to rehome, because it's not easy to move a lot of animals.
No, it's not.
So
ask me how I know.
Right. So like I said, in that transition time, it was trickier on getting our meat processes up and running again and getting everyone in rotation. But in the meantime, we do have a pig that will be going to butcher this month. We are growing out her son. He is cut, so we'll be able to grow him out for meat. He'll be the better one. So Mama, we're getting out of breeding for now for our pigs. We will definitely get back into that. No. Just for now, we're out. So we're sending her off to butcher. We won't get the yield like we will off him, but it'll still be meat.
Yeah.
We just got a huge batch of meat chicks that we are growing out so we can butcher them. We've got turkeys, the chicks that we are going to grow out and butcher them. We do have goats, but they are not for meat. We just use them strictly for dairy. And we have our eggs that come from all of our chickens, which is our protein. Right. So we moved to a new spot. We haven't figured out all of, the secret hidden butcher shops and stuff like that. So we also don't have a huge grocery store that we can get local meat from or anything like that. So we are still doing our butcher box. So we're not new to that. We have been doing it for over a year now. We used to tell you guys about it. We didn't stop. We have continued to get butcher box every month.
We just didn't want to wear y'all out for it. But
we used to get the smaller box because we had more access to local butcher shops and stuff like that. Now that we don't, we get a much bigger box, which everyone doesn't have to do. It just works for us until we can get all of our meat processed and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, and so we are not affiliated with Butcher Box. Now, we do have a code to where it's like a refer a friend that a lot of companies do. We'll put that down below. You will get $30 off your first purchase. Excuse me. But we buy ours every single month. It is not sent to us. We truly feel like this is good meat. It's better than any option that we have at a grocery store until we can really do like she said and get everything functioning here. So we wanted to show you all what comes in a box. just if you're interested.
It is a monthly subscription box that you get meat from if you aren't aware of what Butcher Box is. But yeah, we're going to show you what we get.
And you can cancel anytime.
Yep. So like I said, we get a huge box. You do not have to get this much meat. It's just what works for us. Zach loves a lot of meat. Me and the kids, not so much, but we eat it every day for at least dinner, sometimes not breakfast and lunch, but it works for our family, and we just get a whole lot and we stock up on it. Even if we don't eat it all that month, we freeze it and we just continue to have meat in our freezers.
So it comes with these top packagings, which is just basically an insulator. And then inside, which one's dry ice? Is it still in there?
Yeah, it's usually on the sides. And, yeah.
So it comes with dry ice that keeps everything nice and frozen, as you can tell. And you have no issues of worrying about your meat going bad. So in the big box, you get to pick 12 items. They're not set. You get to go in there and actually pick what meat you want and how many of each that you want. So you, like, say you wanted just hamburger, you can go get 12 hamburgers, ground meat, ground beef, and it's gonna cost the same price, and you can mix and match and do whatever you want, which we go in and change it every month. If you don't do nothing, you will get that same box the next month. So you just need to, if you do decide to sign up, you need to make sure that you're either satisfied with that box, or you go in and change so you can adjust to what you want, or cancel whichever way you want.
They send you emails when it's time. They'll say, hey, if you want to change your box, now's the time to do it before it ships, and you have like 4 days to get that done, so it's easy.
So let's see what we got.
All right, so we've got 4 New York strip steaks here. We love steak, but Wyatt has also kind of taken a liking to steak, so we got 4 of them this time, and we can all have a steak, which will be nice, which I only actually eat half of one. We've got some lobster, which is our first time getting that, but I think it's going to be really good.
So this was an add-on. They give you like member deals, and sometimes, like, I think I was hungry, and they popped this up, and so we decided to get some raw, let's see, claw and knuckle meat of lobster. So this would not come in a regular box.
We got a 6-pound pork butt, and they are really, really good. We get them all the time and smoke them, and they're delicious.
Gotta hit the smoker.
We've got 2 pounds of bacon. Their bacon is really good. It tastes nothing like store-bought bacon. It's a little bit saltier, so we only got 2 pounds, but it's still really, really good. We've got a tenderloin, which we love. We've got 4 pounds of ground beef. We've got 4 pork chops here, and they're really, really thick pork chops.
Yes, they are. You can actually cut them in half to make, say, 8 pork chops. That's what it would be, the size of what you buy at the grocery store. Or you can split them, stuff them with some good stuff, pop them in the oven, and just have a really nice sized pork chop.
We've got 2 packs of chicken breasts, which usually one of these, each one has 2 chicken breasts, sometimes just 1, but it's no antibiotics ever, boneless, skinless chicken breasts. They're really good. And we got a roast, which we also get every month. No matter what, we always get a roast, because you never know when you just want to throw it in the crock pot and have dinner ready after you come home from the barn.
So this works for us. Doesn't have to work for you.
Right.
But it is always good to see other options that are out there. Like I said, if we had a local butcher, we would probably just go to that.
Yeah.
But we don't. And I'm sure there's some around here, but there's none in like a close vicinity. Right. So this works. It's all grass fed, no antibiotics. It's animals raised how we would raise our animals.
Exactly.
And that's what really sold us on the fact. And it tastes fantastic.
It does.
It really does taste really good. Like a local butcher actually did it. So you have that win as well.
Yeah. Is it sustainable? Obviously not.
No.
But we've been doing it for a year and we really love it.
But here's something that you can do with this meat. It can start teaching you how to be sustainable.
Yeah.
So no, you didn't butcher this meat. However, we're not a huge fan on freezers. Freezers are unreliable. Mm-hmm. So even if you are doing your own meat, to us, you're still not sustainable if you're stuffing everything in a deep freeze. Power goes out, what are you gonna do, right? So you can start getting, say, some of the stew meat, some of the roast, some of the bigger chunks of meat that you would get off your animal, and learn how to can, because yes, it is perfectly fine to can meat. So just like how we always talk about in the garden, if you maybe aren't able to have a large garden to can your year's worth, you can still buy those products from a local farm and start canning. So we would highly suggest doing that with this too, if you have an overabundance.
Yeah.
And then so lastly, I briefly mentioned it, but there is a code. Actually, it's not a code. It's just a link.
Yeah.
It's a refer a friend link. It gives you $30 off your first box, and it gives us $30 off our box. Again, we are not affiliated. We just wanted to show you all to give you another option out there and to hear it from someone that's been doing it for over a year.
Yeah.
Because there has been a lot of videos that I saw just pop up on YouTube. I think ButcherBox did some kind of affiliation with some of all of our favorite homesteaders. Yeah, apparently we didn't make the cut. Need to holler at ButcherBox like, hey bro, we've been here a year. But I think it was a lot of their first time. And so everybody was like kind of tasting the meat compared to their own, which were all great. But now you get a side of a review of someone that's been doing it for over a year.
Yeah. That's one back here. Seen it. There it is. It's chicken broth, but not dang right.
One of our favorites, slow cooking roast.
Yeah, it's just so nice to have when we come back from the barn. It's already ready. We don't have to rush. It's just really nice.
Yeah, when you have a farm and like dinner time for the animals is like right around your same dinner time, we're also
they always eat first because that's how we do things around here.
Always.
Yeah.
But we also like the early bird special.
Mm-hmm.
Like we like eating at 5 as well. So it's just kind of really nice to have that. And it's a cloudy, rainy day here. So nice, yummy roast on some bread.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
Those roasts are amazing. I'm telling you, it's the best roast I've ever had.
It is. Most roasts that I've ever had are like kind of dry afterwards. No matter what you do to it, I don't know what it is, but they just always seem dry. And this is just so juicy and so good. So I mentioned canning meat. So I kind of like put your foot where your mouth is, right? Put your mouth where your. One of those, something like that.
What is that?
Put your.
It's not foot and mouth.
No.
Put your mind where your.
Put your mouth where.
No. Gosh dang it. Tell us.
Put your. Yeah, glad that was out of that one. Comment down below because I know we're all around it. But we do can meat, so I brought this one up while I was getting the green beans and taters, which will go in later because they're already canned and soft. I grabbed one of our ground turkeys that we had. So we actually was able to make 100 pints out of 6. No, was it 5? 5 turkeys last year. It was quite the experience, but we did it. We butchered them all ourselves, and we made a bunch of ground turkey. We love ground turkey over ground beef.
Yes.
That's just kind of our go-to. It's a little bit easier on the gut health and indigestion and all that good stuff. So some of our turkeys that we have will replace what we've been using, but it's awesome to can meat.
So that just shows you, yes, we do grow and butcher our own meat, but sometimes, like when you're in a transition of a move, it's difficult. So you do what you can. We've still got turkey that we are eating on, but always having constant meat coming in, whether it's yours or from a source that you know is good and credible, is important. Always replacing what you're eating.
Absolutely. And for example, like the reason we love ground turkey so much, spaghetti.
Yes.
Turkey spaghetti. It's so much better than using ground beef in there because you already got the tomatoes and you're messing all the stuff up. So ground turkey helps out a little bit. Tell them.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Not your foot.